Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtikim Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Welcome everyone to this transcendental program of discussing Param Dharma, Bhagavat Dharma. We are celebrating the 50 years appearance day of Bhagwan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and presently we are studying the essential 8 sloka teachings of Bhagwan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yesterday also we discussed in sharing some glorification of the arrival of this Falgun Purnima, the appearance day tithi of Bhagwan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we discussed the ultimate essence of the special, unique, unprecedented contribution of Bhagwan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Naturally, the teachings very in a condensed form revealed in the 8 slokas of Sikshastakam. They all cater to fulfill the manobhishta of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that manobhishta, the desire, or what Mahaprabhu has come to give. That is also very wonderfully capsuled in the expression of Prabodhananda Saraswati. So basically, while studying this Sikshastakam, we should be very much always aware of that what we are targeting to. We are targeting only what Mahaprabhu has uniquely, or Mahaprabhu's exclusive contribution. Prior to Mahaprabhu's appearance, this special aspects of the spiritual benedictions were never even revealed to the world. So just to recall how wonderful Mahaprabhu's contribution, Prabodhananda Saraswati in Chaitanya Chandramritam, text number 130, he says, Prema namadbhutartha shravanapatha kasya nam mahimna. If you break this shloka, it's very, very wonderful, simple. You say, Prema nam, of the name Prema. Prema nama adbhut artha hai. Adbhut means abhutpurva, unprecedented, wonderful, so amazing. The purpose of endeavor, purpose of human endeavor, is the love of Krishna. The prema naam adbhut artha hai. Artha means purushartha. Our endeavor should be targeted to attain the love of God. This thing Shravanapatha gataha kasya. Whoever heard this thing. Literal meaning. Shravanapatha gataha kasya. Whose ears, if you sometimes literally if you try to translate the Sanskrit words, because they are very figurative. Sanskrit language is the most figurative language. You know. And so literally sometimes if they're translated, the translation sounds very funny. But anyway, so whoever before heard that the purpose of all endeavor, the highest purpose of all endeavor, or the highest benefit also of all endeavor is love of God. Namnam mahimna ko vetta. Whoever heard such amazing glory of the holy name of the Lord. Such glory, we discuss in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Rupa Goswami and all the revealed scriptures, they describe such, especially the blissful or the madhurya, sweet nature of relishing the glory of Krishna name. Tunde tandavinim ratim vitanute tundavali labdhahe Karna kroda kadambine ghatayate karnar budebhya smriham Cheta prangana sangini vijayate sarvendriyanam kritim No jane janita kiyadbhiramritair Krishneti varnadve. How much nectar is filled in the two-letter words Krishna? I do not know, because it captures all the faculties of the senses. It just stuns when the sweetness of Krishna's name and enters the heart through the ears. It just captures, stuns all the activities because it's so overwhelming. Again, the benefit of the holy name, which we discussed. Shraddhaya Helayava. Bhriguvar Naramatram Tarit Krishna Nama. The benefit of Krishna's holy name, that even if it is recited or uttered without faith or even jokingly or whichever way, Tarit, it delivers the living entity from the entanglement of this material existence since eternity. That is the influence. So from every aspect, the such glories, Namna Mahimna Ko Veta, who knew about such glories of the holy name of the Lord before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent? Then Kashya Vrindavana Vivina Mahamadhurishu Praveshe. Whoever entered, whoever fathomed, whoever knew about the sweetness, Mahamadhurishu, great sweetness of the Vrindavan forest, Vrindavan Vipina Mahamadhurishu Praveshe. Whoever is who was so interested in going to Vrindavan, that is basically saying. Previous to Mahaprabhu, because the glories of Vrindavan became manifest, and now they have reached all corners of the world due to the Mahaprabhu's initiating the glories of Vrindavan forests, revealing. Then ultimately, Ko va janati radham param rasa chamatkara madhurya simam. Whoever revealed the limitless, the ultimate limitless glory of Radharani's most wonderful, the sweetness of her love for Krishna. Param Rasa Chamatkar, the variegatedness of her Madanakya Mahabhav. Whoever heard about it? Nobody knew it until Ekas Chaitanya Chandra Param Karunaya Sarvam Avishchakara. Exclusive contribution of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ekas Chaitanya Chandra Param Karunaya, by his great magnanimity, Mahabadanyata. Sarvam Avishchakara. He revealed all these things to the whole world. So our focus now in Sikshastakam Sikshastakam is very scientifically designed. The acharyas just give us perfect direction how to get the ultimate benefit from the study of Sri Sikshastakam. It is not just a casual study just by reciting in India. Often many people recite by memory many chapters and chapters of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and so much. In the same way, many devotees also, they love to memorize many stutis, everything. But the depth is unlimited. Their purport is overwhelmingly deep. And that is what we want also. We want to become overwhelmed. To what extent, how deeply Mahaprabhu perceived, how deeply he felt when he recited this Sikshastakam slokas in glorification of the chanting of the holy name Sri Nam Sankirtan, and how to, for the sadhakas, he also established the directions and necessary directions, how we can really get the best out of these Sikshastakam prayers. Just imagine the thesis of Sikshastakam is revealed in the first sloka. Great promise is given that if one takes to Sankirtanam, Samyak Kirtanam, with the involvement of the mind and the senses, involvement of many people and all the instruments, everything. Sankirtan means Samyak Kirtan. Samyak means every faculty involved, not only just the body and bodily senses, but also the mind, our intelligence, our ego, and eventually taking our interest or attraction or obsession for Krishna name, reaching the subconscious level. That is Bhava Bhakti. So that is the promise given to one who participates in Nam Sankirtan, correct? First sloka. But second sloka describe antithesis. Antithesis means, in spite of such a great promise given to all of us, our own conditioning, our own entanglement, aparadhas, or the asat sanga can completely deprive us from getting the great promise given in the first sloka fulfilled. It can deprive us, we can become deprived. Then third sloka, the cure is given. Medicine is given. Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahishnuna amanina kirtaniya sadahari. And in the fourth sloka, which we discussed last time, today again we discuss because so much important things to be discussed. In the third sloka, wonderful cure is given, medicine is given. Even if one is having the best medicine, best doctor prescribed medicine, everything. But along with the medicine comes what? Anybody knows? Along with the medicine, what else is given? When the doctor
Precautions.
Precautions. Very good. You will remember. So this fourth sloka of Sikshastakam is the precaution. There is a saying, precaution is, anybody knows? Precaution is
Better than cure.
Better
better than the cure. Yes. So should we consider the third sloka more or the fourth sloka? Well, the thing is, Sikshastakam is in sequence. We have to follow the sequence. The fourth sloka is only to safeguard the perfect effect of the cure or medicine given in third sloka. So can we say that the fourth sloka precaution is any less important? No, rather precaution is better than the cure. Why it is said? They are saying in America, they say you cannot, what is that saying? You cannot, one cannot, you cannot, we cannot out exercise a bad diet. Does it make sense? Same connotation. Nobody can out exercise a bad diet. One may be very proud, I will do so much exercise, this and that. It's like good medicine, but the bad diet is like a precaution. You should not take bad diet like that. In Padma Purana, the same thing, the foundational instruction along this line. With this, Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vismartavyo na Jatuchit Sarve Vidhi Nishedhashur Etayor Eva Kinkaraha. Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. So this is the instruction, Vidhi Vakya. There are two kinds of instructions in the scriptures. Vidhi Vakya means instruction law, and things to adopt, Anukulyasa Sankalpa, accepting the things which are favorable for perfecting the performance of devotional service. What is the perfection of performing devotional service? We should be very clear. We start devotional service at Vaidhi Bhakti or Sadhan Bhakti. In Sadhan Bhakti, the target is to reach the level of Bhav Bhakti, which is the real nature of Bhakti. So the instructions given, the main, if one is able to remember, if one puts oneself in a situation where he can remember Krishna 24/7, if this instruction is given to us, and that is the, we also discuss, our target is Kirtaniya Sadahari. We come to the stage where Hari becomes Kirtaniya or glorifiable by us all the time, Sada. Smartabhya Satatam Vishnu. Always remember Vishnu, Krishna. Because Krishna Roop is the main Mool Vishnu, original Vishnu. Satatam Vishnu. So that is like the main Vidhi Vakya. These concepts which we are sharing, if they become conceptualized very well, then our thinking will be very spot on. That's why scripture also say that when it comes to understanding Siddhanta, the conclusion of the scriptures, we should not show any lethargy. Siddhanta baliya chitte na kare alas. Iha haite Krishna lage sudrida manas. When these concepts become very clear, then our study becomes very systematically targeting the highest point. Then our study is never like casual or anything. It's very targeted. And when something is very targeted, our mind directly goes into it. It's not time pass. Studying of scripture is not time pass. It can cause such an absorption that we think we don't have enough time. That is possible because in Kirtaniya Sadahari, that is one aspect. If we find these scriptures very absorbing and is directed by our previous acharyas, we can find the real rasa, the melo, the nectar, unlimited nectar in the studying of the scriptures. And we can again and again and again, these scriptures not just one time reading novel and just leave, oh, I've read this. 10 times I may study Bhakti Sami Sindhu, and I think I hardly know anything. Then what about Ujjwal Neelmani? We haven't finished even once. It is so deep. Every point is just nectar, pure nectar. So the whole idea is all the scriptures, they target all of us that we attain the stage of Kirtaniya Sadahari in this very lifetime. And whatever time is available to us, it's enough. If we just connect to the message in the true sense. So, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu, always remember Krishna. This is the main Vidhi Vakya. Vidhi means to be adopted. Then Vismartavyo na jatuchit. Vismartavya means to forget, to be forgotten. Krishna should never be forgotten. Vismartavyo na jatuchit. Jatuchit at any time. Krishna should not be forgotten any time. Now you can think which statement is more powerful, the first one or the second one. Anyone? We can keep this open, This is how even in general in general dealing also, when two instructions are given of the same nature, the second instruction is always more powerful, because our conditioning is to forget. When something is to be done, we tend to forget. So the second instruction says, don't forget. Vismartavyo na jatuchit. Never ever forget Krishna. Like when somebody goes for shopping and he is told to buy certain things, list given, then something which is most important, don't forget to bring the milk. If nothing, no other things are available, that's fine, but don't forget the milk. So now the person will not forget bringing the milk at least. In the same way, if someone, as we all have the tendency to forget remembering Krishna, the second instruction is also accompanied, adjoining, then don't forget Krishna. Now it will be very difficult to forget Krishna, because the second instruction is very powerful. So this is the main nishedha. Anvaya matlab vidhi vakya to be followed. Vyatirek means something to be, which is not. Nishedha. Sarve vidhi nishedhashur. All the vidhi vakya, all the instructions to be adopted, to be imbibed in our sadhana, all the instructions, sarve vidhi vakyas, instructions, nishedhashur, and all the nishedha vakya, vyatirek means the things to be given up. All the vidhi vakyas, positive and negative instructions of the scriptures, they are all meant to serve these two, which are these are the main vidhi vakya, that always remember Krishna, and main nishedh vakya, never forget Krishna. All of the instructions of the scriptures are only serving these two main in this light. So as sadhakas, we start our sadhana with faith, and with faith we take association, take shelter of the spiritual master, and we continue our sadhana under his direction. This is how everything continues. We take Harinam, we chant Harinam with great faith. So if we follow the instructions of a pure devotee in this nama sadhana, then what happens? The four essential symptoms develop in our life. Correct? Under the direction of this pure devotee, and we follow, we do the chanting and sankirtan without committing any offenses. And as a result, four symptoms which are mentioned in the previous sloka number 3, correct? Trinadapi sunichena. One starts thinking or contemplating about being humbler than the Trinadapi sunichena. more humble than the, or more insignificant than the straw in the street. Taro Ripa says to Navan, starts becoming more tolerant than a tree. Amanina, he stops hankering for respect from others. Amanina, manadina. But at the same time, practice is to give respect to everyone. Because Jive Samman Divo Jani Krishna Adhishtan, showing due respect to every living entity, thinking that Krishna resides in his heart. Then, when these four symptoms are developed in a sadhaka, then what happens? What is the benefit? Kirtaniya sada. Then he attains the status, he is able to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead all the times. So that was the thing. And the fourth sloka is very critical. Even one may imbibe these four wonderful symptoms, as mentioned in the third sloka, Trinadapi Sunichena. And that's a very positive assertion. Wow, devotee also say you should put this sloka like the neck bead. That's very wonderful. It's a positive assertion, which is called anvaya. Anvaya means something to be accepted, somebody to be adopted. Vidhi Vakya. Then Vidhi Vakya is always associated with Vyatireka. Anvaya Vyatireka Abhyam Yasya Sarvatra Sarvada. In Chatushloki Bhagavatam, the last shloka, Etavan eva jigyase tattva jigyasitatmanam anvaya vyatirekavyam yashat sarvatra sarvada. It's very scientifically given. We follow such process which meets both anvaya and vyatirek, that only by following the process of pure devotional service to this Nam Sankirtan, one can attain the perfection of our human potential. One can attain Sri Radha Dashyam, our target. Vyatirek means that any other, if one does not follow the process of Nam Sankirtan, one cannot attain the perfection of one's human potential. That is Vyatirek. So in the same way, here what is describing that accompanying this wonderful assertion, which is mentioned in third sloka, a negative consideration or Vyatirek is thought of. Why a negative consideration? Because that is possible. We may have got the best medicine from the doctor. Best doctor, best medicine. But in order to get the fullest benefit of that medicine, one may say, we have heard many patients say, oh, we are taking medicine. And they just continue eating or living the lifestyle as previous, like that. And when they are warned, you are not supposed to do this, or you are not supposed to eat this and that thing. People are very careless, they say, but why are we taking medicine then? We cannot. They continue taking the medicine and at the same time continue do the things or eat the things which they are not supposed to eat, in spite of the doctors giving them the precaution. Don't do this, don't eat this like this. So that's the instruction. It applies to a sadhaka similarly. If the sadhaka does not give up all connections with sensual happiness, or the fascination, temptation, it's a deep-rooted conditioning since eternity. It's not easy. But somehow, if he really targets his ultimate good, then he must give up all connection with the sensual happiness of this material world. Otherwise, his pure spiritual nature, his spiritual swarup or identity, his pure identity is a maid servant of Srimati Radhika Rani, the eternal servant of Krishna. It will not arise. And without the awakening of the swarup, then the real bhakti cannot be performed. So when we say bhav bhakti, who performs bhav bhakti? Bhav bhakti can be performed only in the jagriti of our swarupa. Who performs bhakti? Devotee. Devotee means eternal servant of Krishna. An eternal servant of Krishna only thinks of how to be able to please Krishna, how to involve his mind, his words, his body, everything in the service and pleasure of Krishna. Because bhakti, as we describe, what is the essence of bhakti? What is the essence of bhakti? The essence of bhakti is Hladini. And what is the work of Hladini? Is to bring and increase the joy of Krishna. So true performer of bhakti only thinks of how to increase the joy of Krishna, how to be with Krishna. So there will be mismatch if a person, even while apparently performing the aspects of pure devotional service, apparently adopting the mood of Trinadapi Sunichina Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanina Manadena, still it is quite possible. But maybe harboring the material desires. And it will block his transformation into bhav bhakti. Our immediate purpose during the sadhan bhakti, raganuga bhakti, also to begin with the sadhan bhakti, we have to bring it, we want that it be transformed into bhav bhakti. So how our sadhana bhakti will transform into bhav bhakti, that is our real question, correct? We must, in this lifetime, we must hanker, we must crave to come to that stage. Again, so how my sadhana bhakti will transform into bhav bhakti? That can be the common goal for all of us. So it is in consideration of this fact, because there is a possibility that we may be so conditioned that we are self-depriving ourselves to get the fullest benefit of performing sadhana bhakti. So the pure character of sadhana bhakti. What is the pure character of sadhana bhakti? The sloka, famous sloka by Rupa Goswami. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. So this sloka should be so well understood that every aspect of it becomes, we become aware of it. We are reminded of this sloka at every stage of our performing the pure devotional service. So this sloka is divided into two parts. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. This is the tatastha lakshan of pure devotional service. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Favorably doing worship of Krishna in a positive means only to bring joy to Krishna, not with any other pratikul, not be negative to Krishna. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Krishna Anushilanam means what? Which is Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Rupa Goswami says, because Krishnanushilanam, anything which brings joy to Krishna. So even asuras, they give a lot of joy to Krishna in fighting. Do you think Krishna would do anything which does not give him joy? Krishna does everything joyfully. Krishna does anything for his own pleasure. So pleasure and joy both are synonymous. But their intention is to kill Krishna. That's why their Anushilan with Krishna is not Anukul, Pratikul. That's why it is not called Bhakti. The whole idea, the Swarup Lakshan and the Tatastha Lakshan, these two aspects, very well described. So, Swarupa Lakshan is the third sloka of Sikshastakam. In the Tatastha Lakshan, they correlate to the fourth sloka of Sikshastakam. This is how we will study very systematically this fourth sloka. How wonderfully we can appreciate the importance of precautions which are mentioned in this sloka. So what is the pure character of sadhan bhakti? In the form of Nam Sankirtan. So when we say pure character of sadhan bhakti means whatever is impure has to be rooted out. So the pure character of sadhan bhakti in the form of Sri Nam Sankirtan is being clearly described in the first by this negative indication in the first two lines of this sloka. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. We discussed in last time, but in this special discussion, in order to attain or realize the pure character of sadhana bhakti, we must get rid of this negative indication. Now the positive indication refers to Swarup Lakshana. Swarup Lakshana means something very naturally, like just by seeing the devotee. What are nature symptoms? He's always humble and meek, Trinadapi Sunichene, always tolerant, never negative, all these things. Amanina, Manadena. So these are like the Swarup Lakshan of a devotee, the intrinsic characteristic of bhakti. A person who performs pure devotional service, this naturally appears in the demeanor of a devotee, Swarup Lakshana. But the Tatastha Lakshana, the intrinsic characteristic of bhakti is that intrinsic interesting means internal and extrinsic, which are like visible. So the things which are visible, or if they are not good, then they have to be removed. So this concept should be very, very, very well understood. So the negative indication in the first two lines of this sloka, na dhanam na janam na sundarim, and the positive, which is called, and the positive aspect, or the Swarup Lakshana, the intrinsic characteristic of bhakti. Now, our purpose is to define the pure devotional in action, in our action. The Swarup Lakshana refers to those characteristics which are part of its fundamental nature. Swarup. So what are these? Anyway, this concept should be very, very clear. The intrinsic characteristic of bhakti is that it involves the cultivation of activities favorable to Sri Krishna. That is, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanina Manadhena Kirtaniya Sadhari. And that is what known as Anukulyena Krishnanushilnam. The things which are favorable in performing pure devotional service. This attitude. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna. The positive aspect. Now the negative aspect, which is the fourth sloka. Because both are in continuation, that's why we are putting some more discussion. The negative indication refers to the Tatastha Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana means the extrinsic, external characteristics of bhakti. What is it? Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavitam. So these are the Tatastha Lakshan, extrinsic characteristic of bhakti. Anukulyena Krishnanu, the second part of that famous sloka of Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Sama Sindhu, that describes the Swarupa Lakshana of bhakti. Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. But Anya vilashita shunyam, the negative indication which is very extrinsic, which is very visible. If one is pursuing ulterior motives, if one is pursuing things which are negative, aspiring other things, even while performing apparently pure devotional chanting, Mangalarti, and doing this, many things, is still harboring many mundane aspirations due to tremendous conditioning, sanskaras of previous births, anya vilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavitam. So these are the negative indication, tatastha lakshana, the extrinsic characteristics of bhakti. So what is the tatastha lakshana? They are like the visible byproducts, like example given in Bhagavatam is when nice crop is, but along with the crop some weeds grow also, and weeds also get fed up. Weeds also uh, get the nutrition along with the real crop. The characteristics which are like the visible byproducts of the real thing, real bhakti. Symptoms which are excluded from the object, means symptoms which are unwanted, have to be given up Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. So the first two lines of the sloka, na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadishakam, they refer to these two tatastha lakshana, or intrinsic, extrinsic characteristics of bhakti, or the tatastha lakshana of bhakti. So basically, what bhakti is described in third sloka. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtane sadahari. And then what bhakti is not. The second case, the Sarup Lakshana in the third sloka, the Tatastha Lakshana, the extrinsic, two extrinsic characteristics of bhakti. Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. Bhakti is devoid of all desires for anything other than the pleasure of Krishna, correct? Bhakti is, or should be, devoid of all desires for anything other than the pleasure of Krishna. And second, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Bhakti should not be covered by fruitive activity, karma. Lord Krishna says, Yoga hai karma su kaushalam. The karma should cause love of God, love of Krishna. But if karma involves us or absorbs us into anything but Krishna, that is not yoga hai karma su kaushalam. So apparently, a sadhak may be performing sadhana bhakti is through nama sankirtanam. But if he is harboring these aspirations of karma and jnana, cultivation of impersonal knowledge, and so on. So as long as the cultivation of activities which are favorable to pure devotional service, which are they? Trinadapi, Sunichena, Tarorapi, Sahishnuna, Amanina, Manida. So these are the Swarup Lakshana of pure devotional service. So as long as the cultivation of these activities, which are very favorable to Krishna, if they remain covered by, externally we may be appearing Trinadapi, Sunichena, Tarorapi, Sahishnuna, Amanina, Manadena. But we can still be harboring our the favorable our disposition, appearance, try to be very consciously, to be respectful to others, try to be humble, try to be tolerant, and all these things. But at the same time, one may be harboring the unwanted aspirations. Anyabhilashit, karma, jnana, yoga. Then what happens? It does not become Shuddha Uttama Bhakti. How wonderfully Mahaprabhu is so scientifically, so that we don't apparently appear progressive on the path of pure devotional service, but in reality, we are putting kulhadi on our own legs. We are, or taking with the hammer our own, we are harming ourselves. And as long as the harboring of other motives remain, then what happens? That kind of bhakti, it may be just semblance of bhakti. Bhakti abhas is not real bhakti. So in order to dissipate the semblance or abhas, the following instructions is being given, so that we just don't not just for the sake of performing Nam Sankirtan we do. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this sloka very specific, oh Jagadish, Jagadish Kamaye. I do not desire wealth, followers, or beautiful poetry. The word dhana, na dhanam, the first comes dhana. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. So what is dhan? What is the dhan here referred to, in Vedic culture? What is the wealth of a person? His dharma is his religiosity is his real treasure. Because an irreligious person, no matter how much money or things he has, he is not worth. So the real dhana refers to the wealth of religiosity of those who are devoutedly engaged in the performance of duties in Varnashram Dharma. We find in the Vedic Dharma, it itself can become such an entanglement. People have that superiority complex that they are very religious compared to those who are not so religious, and they are very prestigious. They get tremendous prestige being very religious and very well established in the society. So that is the dhana. It also refers to all varieties of desires for material enjoyment in this world and in the heavenly planets. So in dharma, there are many rituals so that all the well-beings and the necessities of life are met. And also, after this lifetime, one attains a continuation of this fulfillment of material desires and happiness in the heavenly planets. That is within the Varnashram Dharma. And all these gross and subtle sense gratifications. So that is called dhanam. So Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam. While performing this pure devotional service through Sankirtan, I should not be hankering for dhanam. Na janam, the word jana means people, refers to all the associates who are who who are the janam or the people of a religious pious person who thinks he is so very successful, taking care of all the religious and varnashram duties. So jana refers to women, sons, servants, maid servants, all these categories, subjects, friends, and relatives. Na dhanam na janam, because this surrounding, they will pull us down, they will deprive us to hanker or develop the sense that Hari alone is worth Kirtaniya all the time. But this Janam, the association of these worldly relations, they take away our focus completely away from Hari. So Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam. Actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, the actual kavitam or vidya, education, what is the real vidya? Like vidya vadhu jivanam. What is the actual vidya or knowledge? The actual vidya is that absorbs one, by which the intellect remains firmly situated at the lotus feet of Krishna, is the real knowledge. Sa vidya tan matir yaya, Srimad Bhagavatam describes. Sa vidya tan matir. Tan means him, the Supreme Personality of God. Mati means our attachment. Yaya. anything which causes our attachment to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Radha Krishna, there is Vidya. But Mahaprabhu is denouncing which Vidya? The mundane. Sundari Kavita refers to ordinary knowledge related to mundane poetry. Mundane poetry only obsessed with sense gratification. They do not refer to transcendental poetry related to the descriptions of Krishna's divine pastimes. Or the philosophical principles establishing him as the supreme and the glorification of him. So Mahaprabhu is denouncing such mundane education or mundane or vidya or knowledge which causes or which takes us away from the focus of glorifying and the transcendental nature of Krishna's Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela, etc. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as if on our behalf, in the mood of a sadhaka, devotee, he's saying, I do not pray to you for all these things. My only prayer is that Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahetuki Tvai, birth after birth, I may have unmotivated devotion, Ahetuki Bhakti unto you, O Krishna. O Krishna, the Lord of my heart. So Ahetuki Bhakti means without any ulterior motive, devoid of any fruit, desire for any fruit, devoid of any result seeking mentality. Ahetuki, but Ahetuki has only one hetu. Only hetu, only desire, only goal is to give joy and pleasure to Krishna. So Ahetuki Bhakti means devoid of any fruit seeking for oneself, but with a desire to bring joy to Krishna. It is so pure, it is so exclusive, it is so unmixed with any ulterior motive and free from all material attachment. So these are, this is what Mahaprabhu is asking. And Mahaprabhu, one more thing. Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Hetu Gitvai. He's not even praying that he become free from the miseries of material existence of taking birth again and again and again. Because he appreciates that whatever position one is put, it is ordained by Krishna. So Krishna knows what position to keep me in. So for sadhakas, what really matters is the spiritual awakening. When the spiritual awakening happens, then we will be able to appreciate whatever situation we are in as the best. Because under this our present situation, which may be different from person to person, but one common thing that we got a spiritual awakening under our individual subjective circumstances. If I were in any of your circumstances, I cannot be sure whether I would be thinking of or desiring to become awakened. Don't we all desire to become awakened? Well, I would say that you are all awakened, but at least I have the desire to become awakened. And whatever circumstances I have come through, they have caused this desire to become awakened. If I were in any of your situations, I cannot be sure. So Mahaprabhu is not even asking Krishna to change his situations or change the miserable conditioning, miserable surroundings or situations due to disease or old age or due to Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, Adhyatmic tribulations, He's not asking Krishna to remove his circumstances even. Because in the present circumstances, at least he is able to think of Krishna, glorify Krishna and appreciate his mercy. But if the circumstances change, then what happens? Then it becomes, focus is removed. We want to do Nam Sankirtan only for the pleasure of Krishna. Now, if any other motive creeps in, oh, Krishna, change my situations, I'm suffering, I'm this and that, then that is not pure devotional service. Of course, in the beginning, two symptoms of pure devotional service, Kleshagni Shubhada, performance of devotional service does cause Kleshagni, it removes all the miseries, even without asking. And all the auspicious things come in one's life. One sees very positively, starts seeing things positively, feel positively, thinking positively, feeling positively, seeing positively, everything. But then the real bhakti is yet to be achieved. After initial benefit, one must aspire to come to the bhava stage. That is the whole purpose of studying Sikshastakam, or whole purpose of studying scriptures, that we come to the real stage of bhakti. Before bhava stage, before bhava bhakti, the bhakti which we perform either is Vaidhi bhakti or even is Raganuga bhakti. It is like time pass bhakti, or it is like imitation bhakti, because we are missing out somewhere. So Mahaprabhu is pinpointing that we must not fall trap to these negative aspects. So the endeavor to remove the miseries of material existence in the form of repeated birth and death, it's a big consideration. Like in a spiritual, so-called spiritual culture, uh, many have the aspiration to become free from the cycle of birth and death. Bhav chakra se mukt hona hi ekmatra prayojan. If I become free from the cycle of birth and death, then I have attained everything. But Mahaprabhu is saying, he's not asking for that even. He said, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhautat Bhakti Hetuki. All I want is that I remain unflinchingly Ahetuki Tvai Bhautat Bhakti. May I have unmotivated, pure devotional fervor for you, life after life after life. And anyway, who can free one? Does a living entity, however great a sadhaka is, can one free oneself from the cycle of repeated birth and death? Think of oneself. Does any sadhak have the capacity to free oneself from the repetition of birth and death? No, it is in the hand, it is in the will of Krishna. Without Krishna desiring, it cannot happen. This point has to be very much appreciated. So many sadhakas, many disciplines, like in Buddhists, in the Jainis, and Mayavadis, they think that cessation from the repetition of birth and death, that is the ultimate perfection of the human potential. Well, because is against the Swarupa. the living entity, because it is Chaitanya, it has the tendency of feeling, संवेदनशील है, willing, संकल्पशील है, and doing, क्रियाशील है. The living entity has the tendency of feeling, willing, and doing. So when one so obsessively and so insistently prays, Krishna, make me free from any sensitivity, feeling, make me free from any desire, make me free from any actions, just make me inert, make me static. That is the aspiration. Now, main proposes, God disposes. If somebody is so hankering to attain the static state, which is not the nature of the conscious living entity, then Krishna says, okay, tathastu. You want to become inert, you want to become inactive, you have nothing to do with my devotional service, then okay, become inactive. God disposes. So Krishna gives what people desire and also what people deserve. So if one desires so strongly to become static or inactive and inert, then Krishna says, okay, you have put so much time, energy, and sacrifice, so much tapasya, so much to attain that status. Okay, tathastu. Siddha lokastu tamasa pare yatra vasantihi siddha brahma sukhe magnam daityamsya harinamata. There is a Siddha Lok Krishna has created. Who are sent there? Siddha lokastu tamasa param yatra vasanti siddha brahma sukhe magnaha. Those who want to absorb themselves in the meditation of Brahma, identifying with Brahma or the Supreme. Soham, Shivoham, Aham Brahmasmi, all these things. So those who do sadhana of that nature, Krishna says, well, I gave them the human form of life to connect to my blissful devotional service and become my associate. But they are hankering to become inactive, inert, non-existent. They want to become zero. They want to become free from any desire whatsoever, desireless, no connection, no attachment, just becoming non-existent. So Krishna, for the time being, sends them to Siddhaloka. On the other hand, some people become like demoniac, asuras, cause so much trouble to the human society, so much violence and so much atrocities they perform on the innocent people. Now, sometimes Krishna has to come and personally kill them, because not only they are not doing the thing which they are supposed to do as a human being, that is performing pure devotional service, but they are creating such a havoc or obstacles for the devotion-oriented people. So Krishna kills them, and because they are active negatively. So in order to quieten them, Krishna sends them to the same Siddha Loka. And there they also become inactive, just like the yogis and jnanis and Jains, Buddhists and Mayavadis. So both are put in the same category. One insists to become inactive and inert, and the others, they are too horribly active. So to calm them down, to make them inactive, Krishna sends them there. So Mahaprabhu is saying that he does not want even cessation of birth and death, because that is up to Krishna. Whatever situation we are in, it is prasad of Krishna. It is arrangement. It is ordained by Krishna. And under my circumstances, I have the opportunity to be part of this satsang. That should be the observation. That should be the outlook of a sadhaka. that my present situation is the best for me, in which I am able to participate in satsanga and think about Krishna's glorification, study Sikshastakam. Actually, one's liberation from all miseries occurs automatically, correct? When one becomes liberated or one when attains the eternal abode of the Lord. So our actual aspiration or target should be attaining the supreme, attaining the Kankaratva or maid servanthood of Srimati Radharani. When that is targeted, that target will take care of other things like repetition of birth, of death, or even miseries of this material world. Our real target should be that we be blessed with the continuous fervor of pure devotional service. So, what is by the will of the Lord? Why should we bother Him? We should only appreciate that we are put in such a circumstances, the present circumstances during which we are discussing Krishna Katha. Therefore, what is the need of praying for the removal of such miseries when such a mentality is opposed to bhakti? Because it will take the focus away from Krishna. It will make us self-centered, my misery, my old age, my this, my complaining, unlimited complaints. Pure devotionals entering the zone of pure devotional service means leaving the zone of complaining. No complaint zone. We enter the no complaint zone when we enter the realm of or the atmosphere of pure devotional service. So Lord Chaitanya is praying until the cycle of birth and death is removed by the will of the Lord. Let me continue the pure devotional fervor. Let me continue. Let me be blessed with the pure devotional fervor. Let me have unmotivated devotion unto his lotus feet. Birth after birth, regardless of my material circumstances. This is my only prayer. He's not bothered by his external circumstances. A sadhaka should not be bothered with his external. Rather, he should praise his present circumstances. And if Krishna wants to change them, it's up to him. Why should I put my focus to change my external circumstances? My focus should be only to sustain and safeguard and enhance my devotional fervor. Anyway, my present circumstances have caused me to be part of this pure devotional, association. So same thing we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing. Thani magite lagito. He's only praying for pure devotional service. And in what a humble mood he is praying this, considering himself to be an ordinary conditioned soul. He prays to Krishna for the unalloyed devotion. Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhakti Ahetukitva, pure devotional service. Correct? And when a sadhaka, when a devotee prays for pure devotional service, then naturally his attitude becomes very humble. He begins to think that they don't have even 1 cent of Krishna bhakti. Mahaprabhu is praying like that. Mahaprabhu is the very embodiment of prema, love. He says, I do not want. Isn't he praying for us? Mahaprabhu is a very embodiment of prema, and he is just how magnanimous. How amazingly merciful. He's just teaching us by his own. He's coming down to our level and praying to Krishna the way we should pray. It's like a professor, teacher, a teacher, to kindergarten students. He's holding their finger, and making them write something like this. And he's just only praying to Krishna. Oh, most compassionate Sri Krishna, please bestow causeless mercy upon me and give me only pure devotion for you. Birth after birth after birth after birth. This is the only prayer. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has also sung a very wonderful bhajan with regard in Gitavali prayers, where he's just has captured the essence or practical demonstration how to practicalize in our prayer this fourth sloka, where he says, Prabhu, tava pad yuge mora nivedan, nahi magi deha sukh vidya dhan jana, nahi magi swarga ar moksha nahi magi, na kari prarthna konu vibhutir lagi, etc. So he says, O merciful Lord, this is my specific submission at your lotus feet. I do not ask for bodily happiness, knowledge, wealth, followers, attainment of the heavenly planets, liberation from material existence, or any other such things. I do not ask you for any kind of opulence or perfection even. Wow. In whatever species I may take birth as a consequence of my good or evil deeds, let it happen because that is your arrangement. Why should I pray to change my situation? Whatever situation I am in, it is ordained by you, it is prescribed by you, and what you do is the best for me. Why should I bother to change it? If we are under the care of the most loving parents, even apparently they don't feed us rich food or whatever, we know that they are doing us a favor. So one who has sufficient faith in the merciful nature of the Lord, whatever circumstances he has put us, we very much appreciate. Yes, we don't want to change our situations. All we have to focus that and pray that let our spiritual or devotional fervor increase or sustain at least. Because if you cry out to change our external situations of wealth and all these things, then our focus or the real focus, real purpose of pure devotional service, that is the pleasure of Krishna, thinking of the pleasure of Krishna is completely gone, correct? So apparently we cry, but we are not crying for Krishna. We are crying to Krishna to change our external situations. That is not pure devotional service. So that's why I say, in whatever species I may take birth as a consequence of my good and evil deeds, may I continuously chant your sweet names and describe your transcendental qualities. In every birth, may unmotivated devotion ever remain awakened within my heart. This is my only prayer at your lotus feet. I pray not only that this affection for your lotus feet remains steady in all circumstances of happiness and distress, but that day after day it continues to grow by the influence of the chanting of your holy names. Wherever I take birth, be it in the animal species, in the heavenly planets, or in hell, May unadulterated, ahetuki bhakti, unadulterated devotion ever grace the heart of this servant. What a wonderful. So, under all circumstances, is ordained by you. So, this devotional mood, this mood for the sadhak, for all of us, his firm determination that I reject not only bhukti, or the aspiration, hankering for sense gratification, material enjoyment, in the form of religiosity, dharma, accumulation of wealth, artha, and sense enjoyment, kama, or liberation from miseries, moksha. Sadhaka, because we are targeting Pancham Purushat, Prema. Prema Pumartho Mahan. Our Purusharth is not dharma, artha, kama, moksha. They are anatma dharma. They are not serving the any purpose or real purpose of the soul. Dharma is the kam moksha. They are the purusharth of this material body or material sense gratification. But the Atma, the proper soul, is hankering for love. So, in order to become established in the real duty or real function or real endeavor to benefit the soul ultimately, we must reject all this anatma dharma, dharma. I do not desire liberation even from the cycle of repeated birth. I do not desire engagement in service unto you in order to Hare Krishna. I do not desire engagement in your devotional service with any ulterior motive even to obtain these goals. Oh, I am doing chanting and pure. I am exclusively devoted to Krishna. You know, Anya Vilashita Shunya. अनन्यास चिंतयन्तो माम ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. This understanding or performing devotional or exclusive devotion to Krishna with this expectation that Krishna will take care of my yogakshema. Krishna will provide whatever I am missing, yoga, and Krishna will protect whatever I have, kshema. Of course, Krishna makes this proposal to the living entity conditioned soul to recruit him on his way, to connect to him. But that is also not pure devotional service. That's why Mahaprabhu says, I do not desire engagement in service unto you in order to obtain these dharmas, the kama moksha. I desire to serve you only for your own pleasure. This is the fervor of a pure devotee. Without complaint, because whatever circumstances I am in, they are ordained by you. So why should I bother? Why should I complain? Huh? King Kulashekar, along that line, he has expressed the fervor of this pure devotional service. He says, O Lord Hari, I do not pray to your lotus feet to obtain monastic liberation. Naham vande tava charanayo dvandvam advandvaheto kumbhi pakam gurumapi hare narakam napanetum ramya rama mridutanulata nandane nabhirantum bhave bhave अथवा भवे भवे हृदय भवने भावयेयम bhavantam. How poetic this expression. O Lord Hari, I do not pray to your lotus feet to obtain monastic liberation. I do not pray for deliverance from the hell known as Kumbhipaka or any other dreadful hell. I do not pray to enjoy the company of exquisitely beautiful heavenly damsels in the Nandanakanan pleasure gardens of the heavenly planets. I only pray that life after life I can meditate upon you with great love in the temple of my heart. So appreciating stalwart devotees who express the sentiment of pure unmotivated devotion in their prayers, even for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He further says, I have there is a concept in Vedic, the present Vedic Hindu. So the Panchapatna also has to be rejected to come to the platform of pure devotional service. Persons who have great faith because of tradition, parampara, no? We all, in most of the households, religious households in India, this Panchapasana is very prominent, you know. Especially persons who have great faith in the scriptures, you know, in the Vedas, and the routine, very routine religious worship, which are the Panchapasana means worshipping the five deities, five worshipable deities, which are the first one is Surya, the sun god. There was Surya. What is the purpose of worshipping Surya? To desire, you know, piety. So naturally, those who worship the sun god, they are considered very religious, devout. Without fail, they do the argh to the sun god and circumambulating 7 times around the sun in front of him. Those who desire wealth worship Ganesha, which is very common in India. Those who desire varieties of sensual enjoyment, they worship Durga. This is also described in Srimad Bhagavatam in second canto, third chapter, in the beginning part. Shukdev Goswami is as if validating different worships of different deities for getting one of the benefits. Those who desire liberation worship Shiva. And the Sakam Bhaktas, like Akam hai sarva kamu bha moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajete purusha param. At least those who are, those whose intelligence is udar is developed, they worship Krishna, but Krishna alone. But in Vedic tradition, we find that people worship कृष्णा कृष्ण को ही भजते हैं, कृष्ण को ही भजना है. That is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says one is to worship Krishna alone. The Hindu says, oh, we will worship also Krishna. This is the difference. So in Panchapasana, Krishna becomes one of the five deities. You know, they cannot exclusively start worshiping Krishna. That's why they call Hindus. Hindus means khichdi. You know, not be exclusive. Okay, so this Panchapasana means not exclusive devotion to Krishna. Devotion, Sakam Bhakti, you know, devotion mixed with material desires. So worship of these five personalities is known as Panchopasana. So Panchopasana is a Sakam Upasana, worship material desires. Whereas worship of the Lord's undifferentiated impersonal feature, Niyakar Brahma, Krishna has no feature. Those who aspire for uh, becoming free from all the attachments of this worldly. But Krishna is worshipped purely by devotion, free from adulteration or personal motivation. So that is the message of today's sloka. Many references have been given. The devotee has no desire to attain the heavenly planets, Brahmalok, anything. You find in the prayer of Vritrasur, correct? Nanakapishtam nachaparamishtam nasarvabhavam narasadipatyam na yoga siddhira punarbhavam va continuous interruptions. So Vritrasur is not aspiring even to liberation that causes separation from the Lord, or which takes him away from the Lord, from the service of the Lord. So that is the thing. Ultimately, Bhagavatam message comes in the picture. Vyasadeva is instructing Narad Muni that we have to endeavor, our endeavor should be targeted to that thing, that pure devotional service. We never as misery, ultimately, this is the message. As misery is obtained without any endeavor, correct? We don't do, just as we don't do any endeavor to get the miseries, they come on their own accord. Happiness similarly will also come of its own accord. And therefore, intelligent persons do not endeavor even slightly for mundane religiosity, accumulation of wealth, sense gratification, liberation, and so forth. They endeavor only for bhakti, the rarest treasure within the 14 planetary systems. Bolo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I think we can stop here and can we can. Thank you for tolerating some disturbances because of this internet or this. I hope it was the main message was received fully, almost fully, and with that talk. let us invite you all for participation. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shri Guru, Pranam.
Hare Krishna. थोड़ा disturbance आज हो रहा है. कीर्तनी सदाहरि, you were saying something?
Amazing Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shri Guru.
Am I audible?
Yes, Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam Shri Guru, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry. Kirtana Prabhuji, please.
नहीं, आप बोलिए, please continue. Hare Krishna.
No, you were asking something, please. I just saw the unmute come.
Please you speak. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Pranam Shri Guru, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I attended the second lecture of this Sikshastakam today, third and fourth sloka only. I had my own inhibitions that in English, if I hear from the scriptures, it won't be, kind of absorbing for me. I won't be able to get the right message so nicely. But Shri Guru, you are ultimate. Even language is no barrier. Even today, the lecture was so sweet and full of so many new information. Like we have read about Sikshastakam, and long back I've attended one class from Prabhuji from ISKCON Guwahati, but so many new things to learn. And each time, Sri Guru, I hear about the shlokas, it is so hard hitting. Like so many things we need to change in ourselves, so many things we need to follow in our sadhana. But still, kind of, we feel so far away from all this. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given strict and clear, straight 8 instructions, straight and clear, but still we are not able to follow them so nicely. Even not touching it, Shri Guru, मतलब थोड़ा सा start भी नहीं हुआ like that way. So for beginners like us, like how much we should start with and how much we should minimum do, if you can say, till this 4 shlokas.
We have to find under direction of the pure devotees and very advanced devotees. Then we don't become independent and doing whatever our mind and mundane intelligence tells us to do. It's a tough thing, and that's why these prayers, they remain just words unless they are felt, unless they are really hankered after. Mahaprabhu, in order to get the real thing, he really wants to let go these things. Who can pray like that unless one really wants what Mahaprabhu has come to give us? Only if one really hankers, starts hankering for that what Mahaprabhu has come to give, one may not come to the real fervor of praying. Who will say na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim? The whole material existence is trapped into those hankering. Even among the most sadhakas, this is the most difficult sloka, more difficult than the third one. Make sense? So precaution is better than cure, proved through Sikshastakam. So our contemplation has to be of that nature, that we are stuck in the precaution, non-observation. Non-observation of precaution, not taking care of the precaution. So one question comes to my mind, it's like, subtle and gross. We are stuck on the gross level. Subtle level is still far distant. So it is, what is the cause of our trouble? What is our problem? Is our problem the mind or the senses? Mind is a subtle sense, correct? And the gross senses. So what is the cause of our trouble? We are stuck here due to the mind, or we are stuck here due to the senses. Who is ruling over whom? This is my question. Is it mind over the senses or senses over the mind? This is
Senses
my
are ruling our mind.
huh?
I think senses are ruling our mind.
Not mind. Krishna says, if you control the mind, then you control the senses, correct?
Yes, yes, Shiva. That's why we are doing actually the wrong thing.
Or maybe, so there is a difference between apparent and real. So can we afford to let loose the senses because I'm strong-minded? Where is the mistake committed?
If mind is ruling the senses, then we can control the senses and put them in right direction.
We are putting lot of burden on the mind, and mind can have big excuse. You all senses, you loaded me out, so that I'm just sleeping. It is if we control the senses, the mind is automatically controlled. If we let loose the senses, and then mind will be in trouble. It is always the senses over the mind. If we control the senses, mind is already controlled. But if we let the senses loose and think I will control the mind, no. Mind has already too many things to control now. So we are not helping the mind. We are spoiling the mind by letting loose the senses. हम ये भी देखते हैं, ये भी चखते हैं, ये भी सूंघते, सब कहते हो, but I am strong minded, कुछ मुझे होगा नहीं, nothing else will happen with me. Then we are in trouble. In how many directions we will safeguard the mind? If mind can ride on any of the many senses, but if we control the senses through our habit, and why we take the vow? We don't take the vow to control the mind. We take the vow to engage the senses in the service of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says, why you bother the mind? Mind is the way it is. The mind is carried away by the loose senses. So we engage the senses. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam, Bhakti Uttama. So now question again is it senses over mind or mind over senses? Which that works? Abhyasena to konteya. So practice, we have to engage the senses in the service of Krishna. So if you chant the sense of speaking, and you take prasadam, sense of tasting, if you hear what you chant, if you look at your bead, making sure that the beads don't run away fast. Sometimes one devotee told me that I finished chanting one round in 1 minute. I said, how you did it? Because when the mind is not, when your eyes are not focused on each bead, what happens? The mind has gone somewhere. So mind is pulled back through the eyes. It is not vice versa. It is the other way around. In order to control the mind, you have to block the fleeting or fleeing point of mind. Mind flees through the 5 avenues, correct? Eyes, nose, and all these things. So the problem of a sadhaka is not mind. Problem of the sadhaka is his senses, unbridled, not directed in the engagement of the service of the Lord. Is it clear?
Ji Shri Guru, all clear. And
So
one more small question, Shri.
it is not in contradiction of what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That is the way to control the mind. Only by engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. Okay, what's the next question?
Ji Shri Guru. Shri Guru, in yesterday's lecture and today's lecture also, you said that 4 Purusharth are Anatma Purusharth. Dharma,
Anatma.
Arth, Ka. Anatma, sorry. Anatma
They,
Purusharth. So it's not related to Atma.
yes. Atma
But
is
Shri
hankering
Guru,
for.
like when we used to hear, we say, na, जैसे take a holy dip in the pious river, do this, do that, आत्मा को मोक्ष मिलेगा. Like they used to say like this only, आत्मा को मोक्ष मिलेगा. So
Does Atma need moksha? Does Atma hanker for moksha? The body hankers. Because of bodily identification, a person thinks body is me. So I want to become free from these miseries. Who is feeling the miseries? Who is subjected to the miseries? The body. Atma remains untouched, uncut. So this Dehatma Buddhi, they think we have suffered so much, so let me get moksha. So this is the living entity who is identifying with this material body, which has become the cause of all the miseries to him. He thinks he wants moksha. Atma needs Krishna prem. That's why dharma hai prajjita kaitavatra paramo nirmat saranam satam. This Bhagavatam kicks out all this kapat dharma, anatma dharma, and established in the pure atma dharma of participating in the glorification of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila Dham Parikarabharan. All right?
Jai Shri Guru. Thank you so much. Koti koti dhanyavad, Shri Guru. Hare Krishna.
Sri Swamini Matirastu. All right then? Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru. Pranam. Such a beautiful class, Shri Guru. Every time we listen to you, and it is always ever fresh. And always, always we just feel how unqualified we are, and what a causeless mercy it is that we are getting such incredible satsang, such invaluable satsang. The way you explained the third verse being the cure and the fourth verse being the prevention, and then how by understanding this verse, practicing, incorporating this verse in our life will help us get freed from this char purusharth which the whole Vedic society is searching for, and we can receive what Mahaprabhu is giving us, the Pancham Purusharth. It is brilliant, Shri Guru. Hare Krishna, Shri Guru. Our Anand Sakhi and Anupama Sakhi says thank you is never ever sufficient. Hare Krishna.
Hari
Pranam.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol. So we can wind up. Any other question, thought? Hmm? So, Sikshastakam during this Mahaprabhu appearance coincides, huh? So that's a special feeling, and we were feeling that way. That how meticulously Mahaprabhu has designed this Sikshastakam in order to make it possible for us to really hanker after Sri Radha Dashyam. So our target is not something just immediate. Our target is ultimate. You know, and our ultimate target should motivate us at every moment at every stage of our spiritual development. All right. Nitai Gaur. One more raise hand. Who's this? Okay. So anything else to add, or any reflection, any observation?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can you hear me okay? Am I audible?
Yes.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is my first encounter with a class with you, and it was really very special. I experienced quite a few moments of magic, and for example, yesterday I felt like I had come to a big question: is the cause of all my problems my mind? And then today you answered that it's to control the senses. And also during your class, there was a moment where I contemplated hearing people speak about Hridaya Mandir. And within 2 sentences, you had spoken about this in a quote that you were giving, and you brought the answer for me. So I feel very blessed and very grateful. Thank you.
Well, welcome, and for encouraging everyone here. Anyone who joins, it's very encouraging. So welcome once again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol. So who introduced you to this this group?
Are you speaking to me, Prabhu?
Yes, of course.
Hari Bol. So to this group specifically, my dear friend and brother, Ananda Vigrahadas.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Very nice. So you're also somewhere in Europe?
I'm in the UK.
Okay. Come to Vrindavan. We invite everybody to Vrindavan.
Oh, thank you. It's a great longing of my heart.
Radharani may Radharani fulfill that longing soon.
Bye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol.
Haribo.
All right then. Hare Krishna. Hare
Shri Guru.
Yes.
From the core of our heart, we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times with love and respect for our dear Shri Guru. Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
हृदय से कहेंगे परम पूज्य भक्ति स्वरूप गोविंद महाराज की
Jai,
Gurudev, Jai Jai
Jai.
Gurudev, Jai Jai Gurudev,
Nitai Gaur
Jai Jai
Premanande.
Gurudev.
Hari.
Haribo.
Hari Hari Bol.
प्रणाम श्री गुरु हरे कृष्णा
Hare
प्रणाम श्री गुरु हरे कृष्णा
प्रणाम श्री गुरु हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Welcome. Sri Swamini
Hare
Matirastu.
Krishna, Dandvat Pranam Gurudev.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Sri Swamini Matirastu. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol. Hari. Okay, in less than 1.5 hours, we'll join the Kirtan.